Hi artists! In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to draw words that are three-dimensional with perspective. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get a paper. You're also going to need a pencil and you're going to need a straight edge. And the first decision you're going to need to make is where your work is going to be vanishing to. I'm going to make mine kind of coming from the bottom here. The other thing you need to decide is what are the things that are going to be zooming out at us, that are coming from far away at us. That can be words. I would suggest it be a word that describes you. You could also use shapes as well. I'm going to show you both of those. But with this, you do want to use block letters. So if block letters are something that you're not very familiar with, I would practice first. And I have a video at the top of the page where you can see what that looks like. You can practice using that video and then come back here once you feel a little more comfortable with it. But once you're back here, we're going to start with a few bubble letters. And I'm going to draw a shape as well. You don't have to. You could just use only shapes. But you can really use this technique for any kind of line or shape. So once we have those, my word and shapes, and my dot, then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing lines from our dot to the corners of our shapes. This is going to be a similar technique. It's called one-point perspective. It's something that we did at the beginning of the year in art where we were drawing cities in one-point perspective. That's our 1 point. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw a line from that dot down here to the corners of our letter. So I'm doing that to the corners of the bottom of my K. So any part that's a corner I'm going to do. But the trick to this, especially with a complicated letter like a K that has so many corners, is that I think it's important to go first to the corners that are closest to you. So in this case, the bottom of my K is closest to me. So see that I have those already? And then start working my way farther away. So like that one, I can't even really see it because it's right there. But when I go up here, I have, what's going to happen is when you get up to the top ones, you're going to realize that you collide with other things. Like here, I'm still working on my K, but I already collided with my I. So when I collide with something else, with another letter or part of a letter, I stop. So like up here, I'm going to start this top corner of my K, and as soon as I hit this lower part of my K, I'm stopping. So that's all I get for that top. There to my I, and then there. So then I'm going to move on to my I and work on it. So we're connecting everything to that dot. But the idea with this is that connecting all of these to that one dot, that one vanishing point, gives us a three-dimensional look to our artwork because it looks like it is coming out at us. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go all the way across the bottom before I go back and do my dot at my I, because I have a feeling it's going to collide with my N. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll hold that pencil on there and then just kind of slide across and then that way my pencil, so move, and that way my pencil stays on my dot, and I only have to move one part. Now here's a tricky part, is with round shapes you can kind of move it over until it first touches that edge of that round part, and then you know you're in the right place because there's not a corner there. So I'm sliding, got to another corner, there we go, another corner, and my last one at the bottom. So now that I've got the bottom of those, let's go back and see if any of these places at the top need a line. And that just goes straight through, so no. Ooh, that one has a little, just until we hit the very top of that D. Let's check this corner of our I, of our N. The tiniest little mark there. And then let's do our circle for, so we can get that side. And then that went farther than I thought. It collides back there. So there is our three-dimensional kind, zooming out from there. Now let's come over here and we'll do our heart, and then I'll talk with you about, so dot there, and move over till I get to my edge, and zoom out to the side. There we go. And then go down to the bottom corner of my heart. There we go. And then move over to the very tip on this side. There we go. So there's my heart. So once you have it drawn, then you're going to be working on coloring. What I did with mine is I actually colored as dark as I could on the letters. And what I did with mine was I had a marker, so I used markers. But you could do it with colored pencils or crayons as well. For the receding part, the part that's going back to that dot, the suggestion I'm going to give to you is try to have it fade. And here's how that's going to work. What I like to do for that fade is I'm going to leave a small gap. Let me zoom in. I'm going to do a line next to it, so I leave a small gap of white space there, and I'm going to do the same thing up here. That way we can see that edge. But then what I'll do is I'll color as dark as I can at first and then get lighter. So try not to press as hard as you go away from that edge there. So down here, what that looks like is that at first I'm coloring as dark as I can because it's close. We can see all the detail of that E. So it's like it's just come really close right up to our face. But then as I'm getting farther away, it's going to get lighter. And the way you can do that is you can apply less pressure, so you're not coloring as hard. The other option you can use for fading is you can erase. But the goal should be that when we look back, it should look subtly like it's getting lighter and lighter and lighter until it's almost white at the end, like we didn't really color it at all. And that helps it to look that illusion of three-dimensional depth. I hope that helps. Good luck with your drawing. I hope it turns out well, and I would love to see them if you would like to share them with me. Have a great day. Happy drawing!